I think there were two revivals in 1859. One was the revival associated mainly with Humphrey Jones, or initiated by Humphrey Jones from Trwy'r in Ceredigion, and carried on then by David Morgan from Ysbyty Ystwyth, again in Ceredigion, in the hills behind Aberystwyth. The other was without any obvious human leadership and carried on mainly by prayer meetings. Humphrey Jones, he'd applied as a candidate for the Wesleyan ministry. He wasn't accepted, so he went to America. And in America he began preaching, and he began to hold what he called revival meetings. Having experienced some success, decided he was going to come home to Wales and do something similar here. His stated aim was that he hoped to set Wales on fire. To begin with, at Trwy'r, this little village just about 9 miles north of Aberystwyth, he held prayer meetings for a week with comparatively little preaching. But then he began to preach in earnest, with an emphasis on rebuking the church. And one day, who was in the congregation but David Morgan? David was a minister with the Calvinistic Methodists, and listening to Humphrey Jones, David Morgan was convicted of the poverty of his own ministry and the poverty of his own spiritual life. And a few days later, David Morgan had an intense spiritual experience. He could remember everything of a religious nature that he had ever heard in his life. And he was filled with a new spiritual power and zeal. It's been put like this. One night, David Morgan went to bed like a lamb, and the next morning he woke up like a lion.